Dinner is served.
Some characters in Dexter Resurrection are destined to die, but others, they must die. If they don't, Dexter's entire world collapses, along with his son. Dexter Morgan has always lived by a code: kill only those who deserve it. But this time, that code is unraveling, because in Dexter Resurrection, survival is no longer about justice. It's about deception, exposure, and cold, calculated choices. So in this video, we're going deeper than just a kill list. We're breaking down every character whose death is necessary for the story, for Dexter's survival, and for the fate of the entire franchise. Some of these characters are obvious threats, others are time bombs, but each one holds the power to either protect Dexter or destroy him. And trust me, one of these deaths might break everything. Let's start with someone who's already watching Dexter like a hawk: Gareth, also known as the Gemini Killer. Gareth isn't flashy. He doesn't crave attention like some of the others in Praetor's network. But that's exactly what makes him so dangerous. He's observant, precise, and most importantly, he's suspicious. While others accept Red at face value, Gareth studies him, tracks patterns, looks for inconsistencies, and if he connects the dots, he won't hesitate to test Dexter, not because he fits the code, but because he threatens the cover. Gareth's death isn't optional, it's strategic. If Dexter doesn't eliminate him, Gareth could blow the entire operation apart from within, but killing him too soon could raise alarms with the other killers. So when Gareth dies, and he will, it won't be out of justice, it'll be out of cold-blooded necessity.
Invitation delivered.
Charlie isn't just a soldier for Leon Praetor, she is the system. Former special operations, razor-sharp instincts, and fiercely loyal to the man who built this serial killer empire. She doesn't just keep order, she investigates. And she's already on to Lel's disappearance. It's only a matter of time before she digs into Red's identity and starts asking questions Dexter can't answer. Next up, Charlie, the enforcer, the hunter, and the biggest wildcard in the entire show. That's why Charlie must die, because the moment she finds out who Red really is, the Bay Harbor butcher, it's game over. Her death is the firewall protecting Dexter's secret. But there's a twist. Charlie's not an easy target. She's trained, tactical, deadly. If Dexter moves too fast, she could take him down first. If he waits too long, she'll expose him. And her death wouldn't just be personal, it would be nuclear. Without Charlie holding things together, Praetor's entire empire would collapse. The serial killers would turn on each other, paranoia would spread, and Dexter might be the last man standing, or the next one buried. Which brings us to Leon Praetor himself. The Collector, the Curator, the Kingpin. Every season of Dexter has that one big bad, the ice truck killer, Trinity, Miguel Prado. In Resurrection, it's Praetor. But Praetor isn't just evil, he's a fan, a student of Dexter's past. He owns the blood slide box. He knows too much. And worst of all, he might already know the truth. If Praetor doesn't die, he could expose Dexter to the entire world, or worse, turn him into a twisted trophy in his collection. But here's the real reason he must die. He breaks the code, not by killing, but by enabling others to kill. He's financing murder, hosting gatherings, building networks of psychopaths like it's some secret society. Dexter won't need a code to justify taking him out. All he'll need is one excuse, one moment. And when Praetor dies, it will be the symbolic end of this entire twisted network. But now we shift gears, because the next threat isn't a killer. He's a cop, a father figure, a friend. Angel Batista. In New Blood, Angela Bishop exposed Dexter's secret, but it's Batista who's chasing the proof. And he's getting closer. He's spoken with Masuka, Quinn. He's digging through old files and casework, and he's already confronted Dexter once, with nothing but suspicion in his voice. The problem? Batista doesn't fit the code. He's not a threat to others, he's a threat to Dexter alone, which means if Dexter kills him, it won't be justifiable, it won't be ritual, it will be murder. But here's why Batista must die, because he's too good at what he does. If Dexter lets him live, he'll be exposed. If Dexter kills him, he'll fracture his soul and maybe destroy his legacy. Batista's death is the moral crossroads of this entire season, and it might just be the one thing that breaks Dexter for good. But if you think that's the worst part, think again. Because someone else is watching. Harrison. Now, Harrison isn't a name on the kill list, but he's the reason every kill matters. Because if Dexter kills Batista, the ripple effect will hit Harrison like a freight train. Just like in New Blood, Harrison's moral compass could snap into focus, this time with no confusion. Batista was part of Harrison's childhood, a reminder of Miami, of honesty, of truth. And if he finds out Dexter killed him, everything will shatter. The illusion, the trust, the hope that Dexter could ever change. And that's the final consequence. If these characters don't die, Dexter's secret dies. But if they do die, Dexter might lose the only thing he's ever tried to protect, his son. So now we've seen the full board: Gareth, Charlie, Leon Prater, Batista. They don't just might die, they must. Because Dexter isn't playing by the old rules anymore. He's balancing 3 worlds at once: the code, his cover, and his son. And every time he kills, he's risking all 3. But that's the genius of Dexter: resurrection. The kills aren't just violent, they're strategic. Every death is a calculated move in a high-stakes chess game, and one wrong move could bring it all crashing down. If Gareth lives, Dexter is exposed. If Charlie survives, she finds the truth. If Prater escapes, the network keeps growing. If Batista gets too close, Dexter has to make a choice that could break him. And if Harrison finds out, there's no coming back. Because this time, Dexter's not just fighting for survival, he's fighting for his soul. So what do you think? Did we get the death list right? Or is someone else next on the table? Let me know your theory in the comments, and if you're still watching, drop must die list below, so I know you're one of the true fans who made it to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Welcome. I cannot express how excited I am to meet you.
Leon Prater isn't just obsessed with serial killers. He funds them, recruits them, and collects their trophies. So when Dexter Morgan walked into his dinner party, pretending to be someone else, why didn't he recognize the most infamous killer of them all? Because if Prater really did know, then this changes everything. Let's break down the theory that Leon Prater always knew Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher, and why that detail might be the most dangerous secret in the entire show. Leon Prater is no ordinary billionaire. He's built a secret empire around serial killers, recruiting them, rewarding them, and tracking their crimes like a collector tracks fine art. He doesn't just admire them, he studies them. And among his obsessions, 3 of the most important names in Dexter's legacy: the Ice Truck Killer, the Trinity Killer, and of course, the Bay Harbor Butcher. That last one should have set off every alarm. So why didn't it? Let's be clear, Dexter's name has been tied to the Bay Harbor Butcher case in multiple public records. Captain Maria Laguerta arrested Dexter Morgan for murder in front of Miami Metro PD. In public. She died chasing the truth. Molly Park, a popular true crime podcaster, openly questioned the official narrative, suggesting James Dokes was framed and the real butcher was still out there. Her theory was so public, it reached podcast charts and Reddit threads, places any serial killer fanatic like Prater would devour. Dexter Morgan's face wasn't hidden. His name appeared in police reports, news articles, court records, and most notably, Laguerta's own investigation files. Anyone doing a deep dive into the Bay Harbor Butcher case, especially someone like Leon Prater, who literally owns bloodslides and serial killer artifacts, would have seen Dexter's name and face repeatedly. It's not just that Prater missed it, it's that he missed it so many times that it feels mathematically impossible. Then there's Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer. Prater owns Mitchell's actual hammer. This isn't casual fandom, this is obsession. And guess what? Trinity's last victim was Rita Morgan, Dexter's wife. Her death broke his pattern, drew headlines, and connected directly to Dexter's name in every FBI file. Even more damning, police sketches of Kyle Butler, Dexter's fake identity used to infiltrate Trinity's life, match Dexter's face. Detective Quinn even pursued this lead by showing Dexter's photo to Mitchell's family. Again, Prater had to know. He had the means, the motive, and the files. Here's the final nail in the coffin. When Harrison Morgan kills Brian Foster, he mimics the Bay Harbor Butcher's exact technique, down to the 9 garbage bags. This isn't common knowledge. It's not in podcasts or documentaries. Yet Prater, who recruits killers based on precise methodology, didn't flinch. No way. If he saw Harrison's kill, and he surely did, It would have forced him to dig deeper, and one background check would connect Harrison to Rita Morgan and Dexter. That dinner party, it wasn't just a recruitment, it was a test. There are 3 possible explanations here. The first is that this is a plot hole. The writers may have overlooked the sheer volume of evidence tying Dexter to Prater's obsessions. If so, this undermines Prater's credibility as an expert. How can we believe he's a genius if he misses the most infamous killer of all? The second is that it's deliberate misdirection. Maybe Prater does know, and he's waiting, testing Dexter, watching him squirm, waiting to see how far he'll go before snapping. If that's the case, we might be headed for one of the most intense psychological standoffs in Dexter history. The third is that it's a slow burn. We're only a few episodes into Dexter Resurrection. There's still time for the writers to reveal that Prater has been playing a long game, a chess match, a trap. So, what do you think? Is Leon Prater just blind to the truth, or does he already know exactly who's sitting at his table? If you're still watching, comment Prater knew down below, and let's see how many of us believe this theory. Make sure to subscribe for more dark theories, breakdowns, and hidden details from the world of Dexter. Thanks for watching. Batista finally connected the dots on Dexter Morgan, and once he did, there was no turning back. This isn't just another detective chasing a lead. This is a friend, a colleague, a man who looked the Bay Harbor butcher in the eye for years and never saw it. Until now. But what changed? And what finally convinced Batista that Dexter Morgan wasn't who he claimed to be? After Dexter's apparent death in Hurricane Laura, Batista had no reason to dig deeper. He was mourning Deborah, dealing with Dexter's loss, and doing his best to move on. The idea that Dexter was the Bay Harbor butcher seemed buried alongside him. But something always felt off. Batista knew Maria Lagerta wasn't reckless. She was onto something before she died. And her theory? That Dexter was the real butcher. Still, without evidence, Batista let it go. Years passed. The puzzle pieces stayed scattered. Everything changed the day Batista attended a law enforcement conference. There, he met Angela Bishop. And Angela dropped the bombshell. Dexter Morgan wasn't dead. He was alive in Iron Lake, living as Jim Lindsay. And that wasn't even the worst part. Angela believed Dexter had killed again. Batista's shock turned into action. He grabbed the case file on Maria's death and planned a trip to Iron Lake the very next day. But before he could arrive, Dexter was shot by his own son, Harrison. Angela disappeared, and Officer Teddy Reed became the only source of information. Teddy had no clue about Dexter's past or Angela's suspicions, but Batista knew too much to walk away. He remembered the suspicious killing of Oliver Saxon. Dexter stabbed him in the neck with a pen on camera. Batista called it strange. Quinn waved it off as self-defense. Batista let it go, but never forgot it. And there was more. Maria Lagerta releases Hector Estrada to bait Dexter. Days later, Maria is dead. Dexter disappears during a hurricane, taking his son Harrison. Batista learns that Jim Lindsay is really Dexter Morgan, who abandoned his son and started a new life. Everyone who ever got close to exposing Dexter, Dokes, Lagerta, Stan Liddy, ended up dead. It wasn't a coincidence anymore, it was a pattern. Angela's message was the final push. She sent Batista a photo of her with Dexter. That image alone reopened everything Batista had suppressed. From that point, his mission changed. This wasn't just about visiting an old friend, it was about confronting the truth. Dexter wasn't just suspicious, he was the Bay Harbor butcher. When Batista finally reached Iron Lake, Dexter had survived the gunshot but vanished again.
Dexter Morgan's truck.
Where?
New York City. Truck matching his license plate got a speeding ticket.
Harrison took the truck. The trail was cold. Still, Batista pressed Teddy to alert him the moment Dexter's truck turned up again. The truth. Batista didn't need more proof. He knew Dexter was a killer. He knew Dexter had faked his death. He knew Dexter had a pattern, and that pattern always ended in blood. But knowing and proving are two different things. Dexter's code had protected him for decades, and every time someone tried to expose him, they ended up dead. Batista isn't naive. He knows the danger, but this time he's not chasing justice for Miami Metro or for Maria. He's chasing it for himself, for closure, for every question that never got answered. Batista finally saw the truth. The only question left is, will he survive it? If you're still watching, drop Dark Passenger in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video. Peter Dinklage is joining the Dexter universe, but not as a friend. According to major leaks and insider buzz, Dinklage isn't just playing a villain, he's hunting Dexter Morgan. That's right, the hunter is now the hunted. And this billionaire's twisted obsession with serial killers may be the biggest threat Dexter has ever faced. But who exactly is this man, and why is Dexter his next target? Peter Dinklage's role hasn't been officially confirmed by Showtime, but insiders describe him as a philanthropist tech billionaire with a hidden agenda. He collects, profiles, and tracks serial killers. Publicly, he's a genius investor with a spotless image. Privately, he's obsessed with predators, specifically ones like Dexter. Some believe he runs a private dark web network where he shares psychological case studies and footage. And now he's caught wind of a certain Bay Harbor butcher. Dexter's enemies were always emotional, unstable, or territorial. Think Trinity, Miguel Prado, or the Skinner. But Dinklage's character flips the script. He's cold, calculated, and well-resourced. He doesn't kill for chaos, he kills for control. He uses AI profiling, digital surveillance, and even bribes police departments to gain access to forensic data. And according to early plot theories, he knows about Dexter's code. That makes him the most dangerous type of enemy, one who doesn't just want to kill Dexter, he wants to understand and outsmart him. The theory goes like this. In Dexter, Resurrection, the world believes Dexter Morgan is dead. But when a string of murders start appearing that mimic his old MO, meticulous, blood-drained, plastic-wrapped bodies, this billionaire takes notice. Not because he's horrified, because he's fascinated. So he sends people, he buys records, he studies crime scene photos from Miami, he cross-references old reports, and even blackmails someone in law enforcement who once worked with LaGuardia. He doesn't just think Dexter is alive, he's certain of it. And now he wants to find him, not to arrest him, but to capture him, study him, and eventually kill him to complete his collection. This sets up the most cerebral showdown in Dexter history. Unlike Dokes or Quinn or the FBI, Dinklage's character isn't trying to stop Dexter, he's trying to be better than him, to prove that he can crack the code of the world's most elusive serial killer and end him on his own terms. He begins leaving clues. He manipulates Dexter's surroundings. Some fans believe he'll lure Dexter in by targeting Harrison or referencing Harry's code, forcing Dexter to come out of hiding. This isn't a manhunt, it's a game. And Dexter might already be 3 moves behind. In previous teasers, we learned that Dexter, Resurrection features 6 new serial killers. Some fans believe Dinklage's character isn't just one of them, he's the one pulling the strings. He's not a serial killer in the traditional sense. He recruits them, trains them, places them like chess pieces across the country. Each one represents a psychological type, and Dexter, he's the king. This would make him the architect of the entire season's conflict. And if he's building a killer-based economy, then Dexter is about to walk into a world where he's no longer the top predator, but just another specimen. For the first time in the franchise, Dexter is not in control. He's not hiding from cops or escaping angry rivals. He's being stalked by a man who's smarter, wealthier, and morally detached. This twist shatters everything we thought we knew. It forces Dexter to question whether the code still protects him. Because what happens when the person hunting you doesn't want to stop you, but wants to replace you? There's a chilling moment teased in the leaked concept trailer where a voice, assumed to be Dinklage's, says, "You hunt monsters, but me, I collect them." That line alone might define this new chapter. If this theory is true, Dexter, Resurrection could become the most ambitious season yet. Not just a return, but a complete reversal of the original series dynamic. And with Peter Dinklage in the mix, the stakes have never been higher. Dexter has always been the smartest man in the room, but this time, he might be the one being watched. If you're still watching, comment Dexter Hunted so we know you're one of the real ones. And hit that like button if you want us to break down all 6 rumored serial killers next. Subscribe for more killer theories, and we'll see you in the next video.